What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Wednesday, May 3rd, 2023. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Benjamin's godmother, Gamespot and Giant Bombs, Lucy James.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm excellent. What's the word? What's been happening? What are you playing? What's going on? How you doing? What's going on? How's the cat? What's happening?
That's a lot of questions.
But I like to potpourri shotgun blast them.
Okay.
That way you can just pick what you want to
What's
talk
going
about.
on? Doing fine. Got a tattoo.
Show me a tattoo.
New show launch. It's right on my upper thigh. Can't do that.
Hey, that's on you. You know what I mean?
I'll show you a picture after. I assure you I'm wearing pants in it.
I've seen a photo. We are close friends.
Yeah.
You sent me. I haven't seen it in the flesh though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's at the peeling stage. It's weird.
Ooh.
Cat's good. Had a bladder infection. Doing fine.
Okay.
Launching comic today too, and playing Jedi Survivor and Resident Evil 4.
Talk to me about the comic.
Octobriana and the Underground Full Tilt Boogie. Is that
Where can people pick it up?
Amazon.com right now. I think there's been a slight delay with the paper stuff. I think that's coming on the 10th, but you can actually buy it on Amazon now if you are.
Comixology, you can get it in there. You can do all that stuff. You're all part of it. Nice. That's awesome. Congratulations, Luce. What was that like writing a comic?
Weird.
Yeah.
Because it is such a different experience. I mean,
Yeah.
It's so different than just writing like an ordinary script because you have to think so visually, and
Sure.
I am not necessarily a visual thinker. It was really cool. And I was working with Stu Taylor, who and he's fantastic, and he's a great editor, and it's fun to bounce ideas off. And so
is it just one issue, or is it multiple things? Or
story in one issue.
Okay.
But
Did this ignite the fire of where you want to keep going? You want to do more?
Yeah.
All right, good.
I've got plans. Don't worry about it.
Okay, good. Well, the problem is, Lucy, you have tons of plans and you execute on all of them, so you're always doing a million things.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Tam is on the Kinda Funny podcast today.
Yes.
And his first 60 seconds is explaining that GameSpot has started like 900 new shows.
Yeah, and we decided to launch them all in 1 week too. Helpfully.
Yeah.
Scattergun approach.
Exactly.
No.
You'll find something you like.
Yeah. No, it's really fun, and Legacy Games Media getting investment is awesome, and we kind of.
It's rare. It's kind of rare these days that Legacy Game Media gets an investment to buy in a bunch of new stuff.
Yeah, but it's so exciting because we have such a great video team, and I'm there. We have such a great video team, and like all of these ideas have been noodling in people's minds for so long.
Sure.
And then fandom were like, we want you to make some shows, and so everyone is just kind of getting to do a bunch of different things that they've wanted to do for so long, but never necessarily had the outlet for at work. That it's difficult to fit in a Kurt's video essay show into how do I fit this into a preview format that would resonate with the kind of traditional stuff that we do. So yeah, we have a bunch of new shows the week of May the 1st, not May 1st, because I got told off by my dad for saying May 1st. That's apparently a very American thing.
Is that a British thing?
No, May the 1st.
May the 1st is American or British?
English.
Yeah, no, totally. We wouldn't. Why would we waste time? You know what I mean? Why am I adding in an extra word, Mike? You know what I mean? May the 1st. I got things to do. You cut that out, I got a million different ways to go.
So this week, bunch of new shows.
Which one's yours? Because first off, Kurt Locker, that's an amazing name.
Who's to say what came first, the name or the show?
This is what Tam was talking about too. Yeah. But which one's yours?
So I do a bunch of stuff in the lore format, which is the lore, again, pun. So I did the history of Zelda on Monday. No mean feat. A lot of Zelda.
Very interesting.
But Tam and I have a news show that's going out on Fridays called Spot On.
Okay.
Which is basically more like a last week tonight kind of thing. Oh, thank you. Wow.
Fair to be real. He knows what's up.
Look at this guy.
So is the plan that you're launching all these shows this week?
Yeah.
Is this then from here on out every day there's a new show on youtube.com/GameSpot?
Pretty much. Everything is going to be, seasonal.
Okay.
So we're bringing back things like I'm working on a new season of audio logs right now.
Sure.
We have other shows that are going to be launching. We're kind of doing it so the week of Summer Game Fest, we get that kind of break where it's, okay, everyone.
The break to cover Summer Game Fest.
The break of shows. It's like, okay, everyone, just focus on Summer Game Fest, and then, launching new shows again after that. So
that's awesome.
Cool.
Well, you're busy. That's good.
Luckily,
there's nothing happening in video games.
No, nothing at all. It's
Except for details on Xbox Game Showcase, Spider-Man 2 getting a prequel, comic, and so much more. And we're going to get into all of it because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show for free at kindafunny.com/KFGD. Over there, you can write in with all your questions, comments, and concerns. But of course, you can then watch us record the show live on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. You can watch it on youtube.com/kindafunnygames. We record it live. Then you can catch it later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames. And of course, podcast services around the globe each and every weekday. However, the best way to get the show is patreon.com/kindafunny, where, of course, you could get it ad-free. You could support the show. You could get dozens of bonus episodes that go up each and every day. You, of course, could watch us record our podcasts live as we record them most of the time, unless there's an embargo. Embargo on this afternoon's Xcast? But that's live? Can they watch? That's what I thought. So Snowbike Mike, he'll tell you about that in 1 second. Of course, though, patreon.com/kindafunny keeps the mics and lights on. So please come on through and support us. It means the world to us. Of course, no bucks tossed our way. No big deal. Use the Epic creator code KINDAFUNNY when you're checking out the Epic Game Store or when you're playing Fortnite, Rocket League, or so forth on any one of your consoles. Housekeeping for you. There's a lot of it. Strap in. I already said it. Tam's on the Kinda Funny podcast today. We want to know, would you hang out with your parents if you could time travel and hang out with them when they were like contemporaries? Would you do it, Luce? Would you hang out with Lynn?
Honestly,
you don't have to answer.
No. I would, just to get some of that lore. You know,
sure.
I feel like
really see how this.
Yeah.
How did you get this way?
How did this happen?
Yeah.
I would go back and hang out with Lynn. Nick, I'd hang out with Nick. Nick's a good time. Nick has told me some stories about being at uni where, like, I think he has his favorite story about like the only outstanding money that he had to spend at university was his bar tab.
Nice.
Like, yeah.
You can get down with that guy. That's a guy you want to party with. That's up right now. YouTube.com/kindafunny and the Kinda Funny podcast feeds wherever you get your show. Guess what? Tomorrow is May the 4th, and you should come celebrate with us as the team plays through Jedi Survivor. We have all sorts of fun surprises for you, including Andi-Juan Kenobi teaching Nick the Force, and where in the world is Kev2D2? It gets worse. Want to hear Mike-Bacca The Truckee do his patented Tahoe Scream? Tune in to twitch.tv/kindafunnygames this Thursday at 11:30 a.m. right after Kinda Funny Games Daily. If that wasn't enough Star Wars content, this afternoon, me and Barrett are recording the Jedi Survivor spoilercast. You can send your questions into Kinda Funny Gamescast or kindafunny.com/gamescast right now, still to be part of that show with your thoughts, questions, opinions. Did you beat it?
No, I haven't beat it yet.
Okay.
But I'm very much enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I feel...
How bad have the bugs been for you? No? Okay, good.
Which is wild.
You on PS5?
Yeah. Good. Yeah, but I was talking to Skill Up and he was like playing on PC and so, I had that in the back of my head while I was playing.
Sure.
As in, so lucky.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, based on that, I can tell you right now, for Christmas, just get Skill Up a hammer, because all that person wants to do is fucking beat their hand with a hammer. They love the pain. That's all these PC people love. They know what this leads to. This is not a new problem.
I know.
But they're like, this time it'll be different. Just like when I buy a fucking gym membership. This time I'm actually going to go. No, you know how it's
How's that Peloton working out?
You know what? It is great right now. It is surrounded by diapers right now. We are giving away a bunch of diapers. It doesn't matter. Only on YouTube after this episode of Kinda Funny Games Daily on the live stream and on the on-demand video. Snowbike Michael, pop in to answer the YouTube super chat, post-show questions with us. You should hang out with us. That'll be a lot of fun. Thank you to our Patreon producer, Delaney Twining. Today we're brought to you by Honey and Rocket Money. We'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 7 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen.
Let's start in the land of green with some positive Xbox news. We got more details on Xbox's June game showcase. This comes from Joe Screbbles at Xbox Wire.
Sweet boy.
Miss him. We miss Joe, of course. Of course, he used to be one of us, a press person. Worked at IGN a long time. And then he saw the money in the hills. You know what I mean? Saw a future.
Those green hills.
I heard it was you bullied him for having a fake name.
I stopped doing that. I stopped doing that years ago. I'll have you know. Don't worry. Joe writes on Xbox Wire, we're delighted to announce that the Xbox Game Showcase will be live streamed June 11th at 10 a.m. Pacific. Immediately following the showcase, we'll be airing Starfield Direct, a deep dive into Bethesda Game Studios' highly anticipated sci-fi RPG. Join us for some new surprises and first looks from our incredibly talented internal studios and our many creative partners around this world. This is the day gamers have been waiting for to see what is coming to Xbox, PC, and Game Pass. Starfield Direct will invite you inside Bethesda Game Studios to learn much, much more about Starfield with tons of new gameplay, developer interviews, and behind-the-scenes insider information. Like last year, we'll also have a follow-up to our stream. Xbox Game Showcase Extended Edition airs June 13th at 10 a.m. Pacific with in-depth interviews focused on the news from our Xbox Games Showcase, as well as game updates from our partners. Lucy,
Hi.
we knew the bones of this before.
Yep.
They had said June 11th. They hadn't given a time, but they had said Xbox Game Showcase. They had said there'd be a Starfield Direct. Now they're finally starting to talk about it. And I feel like they couldn't pick a better week/time period to actually get out there with some good news.
God, seriously.
With all the Redfall stuff, they're out here talking. We're talking about the future of it. And then you have to talk about the importance of it. And if we're going to talk about important Xbox news, we turn our lonely eyes to one, the only, the master of hype, the leader of the Kinda Funny Xcast, Snow Bike Mike. Hello, Snow Bike Mike.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, bud.
Hi, Lucy.
Hi.
I love Xbox, and I love talking Xbox with you. Let's have some fun. Let's talk about it because, this is, of course, some big and exciting news and also some very important news because we've been down over on the Xbox side of things,
sad.
Greg and Lucy. It's been very tough.
Been a tough
especially this week. Is right. Of course, the CMA blocking the deal for acquisition.
The Country Music Awards.
Oh, man, they're so tough on us right now. And then, of course, Redfall coming out, too.
Yeah.
Some very poor reviews.
Yeah.
So this is some positive news, but also a big weight on the team's shoulder that we're going to talk about right now.
Exactly, Mike. And I guess that really is from the weeks ago when this was announced and we knew this was coming to where we are right now. For the Xbox fan base, how important is this game showcase?
It's wild because I said it outside in front of Roger. I was like, this is the year. This is a very important year. They're going to deliver, Roger.
say
And
this
he
every
said,
year.
you said this every year, Mike. And it's wild to think that this is another very important summer showcase, another important year to showcase what could be and what needs to be, right, Lucy? It's not what could be anymore. It is what needs to be. And I think when we look back on this year and in the history books 5 years from now when we talk about it, hopefully this is the quote-unquote summer game showcase that did change it all, right? Because it needs to be that when we talk about the weight of everything going on in the Xbox world.
Luce, for you, someone who's unbiased and from the UK, so you sound super smart. Can Xbox do this? Are we putting too much weight on it? Can they stand and deliver on this whole front? Because I do feel like right now, I think it was either in my tweets or maybe it was even just in the comments on the Redfall review or our subreddit or somewhere. People were there was a thread of just like, this is the lowest. This wasn't me. There's somebody commenting. The lowest I felt as an Xbox fan. Like I feel like that's going around right now for the diehard audience. And so, is this the time you think Xbox will step up and knock it out of the park and do this whole thing and make us all understand what their plan is?
First of all, saying this is the lowest you've been as an Xbox fan. Do you not remember, like, 2013?
TV.
Call of Duty.
It was a tough time.
It was rough.
True.
You know what? The thing about this is that, like, there is no doubt in my mind that Xbox know that they need to deliver on this. They know stuff is not going their way. They know Redfall, look at the... Not to be, tinfoil hatted, but like reviews dropping as soon as the game launches on a big first party title like Redfall coming from a studio like Arcane.
Oh, that's not tinfoil at all.
I know,
Yeah,
but like they knew that game was not gonna be a smash hit out the gate. I think there's a lot riding on Starfield for sure, and I think that's why they are so like there is gonna be the Starfield Direct. We're breaking it out separately, but we are attaching it to Xbox so that it's like, you're there for Starfield, but we're gonna have a lot of cool stuff in there.
Sure.
There have been promises from Xbox over the past few years. Like, we haven't seen Fable in a long time. We haven't seen things like Perfect Dark, Avowed. And so they just need this.
State of Decay.
State of Decay 3, Outer Worlds 2, they also showed as well. Like, they went on a spree there where they were just firing from the hip like Greg at the intro. And then we just went radio silent on a number of things.
But then, I mean, even Halo Infinite, after that, initial poor first showing, the day that Halo Infinite launched, hype as hell. It was incredible. And like multiplayer felt great, campaign was pretty good. And then it's just like the consistency and unable to deliver the rest of it. And that's where I'm kind of sad about Xbox right now is that they are not delivering. And so
The Kind of Funny mantra on this ride has been me and Tim for years talking about the dominoes they're setting up.
Yeah.
Every studio acquisition, everything else, and eventually they're going to hit the domino and it will be here's amazing game after amazing game after amazing game. But instead, we see it be this struggle to get there, whether it be Halo Infinite, whether it be Redfall. And like we were talking about in the aftermath of Redfall, right? Like this, I can't imagine the pressure right now Bethesda Game Studios on Todd Howard and his team. Like, it was already there hey, we are Bethesda Game Studios. Hey, we are Todd Howard's team. We're trying to make something. You know what that means. But on top of that now, this game is trying to justify, I think, Xbox's year, right? This is what it's going to be. And Mike, you've gone on the record as saying, I laughed at you in the room, but you then made a great point of, I'm serious. You're like, this has to be game of the generation. This is how much is riding on this game.
It's wild.
Do you believe they can deliver that? Do you think we see this on June 11th during the Starfield Direct? We get that in-depth, here's how companions are, or whatever it's going to be, romance systems, or this, or just the universe and the planet. Do you think we're gonna walk out of that going, damn, this is the, let's not kid ourselves, the Tears of the Kingdom killer, right?
I think there's two schools of thought on this. Do I believe that this team is talented enough and has a proven track record that they can deliver a game of a generation? Heck yeah, they can, right? We've seen it before, from the Fallout series to Skyrim and how beloved those games were, right? But now I think the added weight, as you say, the pressure, everyone's going to be there with a microscope, right?
Yeah.
We're going to be counting frames. We're going to pick on every single word Todd and his team say from whatever they cover, right? Whether it be companions, shipbuilding, all of those Goldilocks planets that we talked about, right?
You want to talk about a No Man's Sky situation,
planets,
right?
right?
It's like, they will hold whatever they say during this presentation, and in the run up to it, they will remember it.
And so I think that's the issue now is like, do we believe it? Yeah, we definitely can all look at each other on the table and say, yeah, we believe in Bethesda and what they've created before.
Sure.
But now with the added pressure, I think you go into it way more hesitant on, can they actually deliver this? Because I don't think it is a Diablo 4 Slayer. I don't think it's a Tears of the Kingdom killer anymore, right? Like, my worry is that this game could just come out good. But it needs to be great. That's the issue.
That's been the story of Xbox so far. And it's that thing of like, I'm not doing a character here. I'm not, because definitely, the character's now just about PC. That's what that's where I get heat from the PC kids. I'll stick with it. But even there's the PlayStation guy, right? Like, you look at Xbox's, Halo Infinite, Grounded, Sea of Thieves, Redfall, and it's like you're seeing games that you're like, it was so close. You were every one of these, it was so close. And don't get me wrong, Sea of Thieves evolved into something. Grounded evolved into something from its, early launch this, but it's just, they're not The Last of Us. They're not Spider-Man. They're not Ghost of Tsushima.
That's been the issue this whole time, is we compare it to the other side, right? We want that third-person action RPG narrative story adventure game that we've wanted, and they just haven't made that. That's not their bread and butter. That's not what they make, right, unfortunately. But the Xbox audience wants something like that, right? And we've had great games like Gears, right? Gears Hivebusters was an awesome experience, right? But that's just one drop in a gigantic well that we need filled over on the opposite side. And when you look at it, right, we talked about the games. You talk about Perfect Dark and what's going on with the initiative, teaming up with Crystal Dynamics now, and that's got an added pressure of who even wants Perfect Dark. People like me who played it on the N64, we're old, right? Do new kids playing Xbox even know what Perfect Dark is? And can you deliver that and make it not just another generic first-person shooter? Because that is what Perfect Dark was on N64 and Xbox 360, right? It was James Bond, but with a new skin on top of that. We have a lot of first-person shooters,
Don't talk shit about Joanna Dark right now.
And then
her shooting aliens in the head, all right?
Joanna Dark catching strays.
On top of that, the big one is Fable, right? Now
dude, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. I love Fable. Let's fucking go.
Playground Games. And you've teased us with Fable. We're at the point now where you show me Fable. There is no more teasing Fable. It is, there better be some gameplay, and we got to start moving to dates, right? We look now at Hellblade, a game that has just been strung along. I mean, we know how great Ninja Theory is. I'm not dissing them. I think they're great, but I can't see another Redfall without another Hellblade without a date. If you don't put a date on this thing, and if it's not winter and or spring next year, it's going to be like, oh man, that's tough, right? Because you just keep pushing it farther away from
this. Isn't even just the track record of where we've been right now so far with Xbox and what we've seen from them put out. I worry about Hellblade. And and don't get me wrong, it's gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, the first Hellblade was great. I'm not trying to say, but it's that thing of that big battle with the big monster on the beach or whatever. I looked at it and I was like, this doesn't scream fun to me to play. Yeah. And then it is that, like, that's so different from what we did in the original Hellblade. And so I do worry of like, it's a sequel, it's bigger, it's badder, it's going to look better. You have to, like, are they growing beyond their scope of what they wanted? And is that going to be something? And I hope I eat my words. I hope I'm wrong. But like this is all graphically impressive.
Yeah,
but so is
looks good.
Sunrise of Rome. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
bring
Hey,
it
Xbox
right.
fans hold Rise of Rome up on a pedestal
Because
for
they're
some reason.
desperate.
It's
It
absolutely
was a launch
insane.
game and you were desperate. I understand, ladies and gentlemen. I understand.
God.
I've been there.
Also, we're thankful on the Xbox side for a lot of great third-party partnerships.
Yeah.
Right? We
Yeah.
always talk about Game Pass and how important that is. We look at Game Pass Family Plan. When is that coming to America? What is that price going to be? How do you incentivize people to get excited about that,
The
right?
2-week free.
So right now you can refer a friend,
refer a friend.
and actually get people to jump into Game Pass for free, which is a big deal. That's a very
great.
cool one, Lucy.
Yeah.
So they do great jobs with like promotion and third-party partnerships. We look at EA Play, fabulous. I love EA
course.
Play, right? We just looked at Ubisoft Plus coming over onto the console side of things. Could we sign a massive deal and actually get that onto a Game Pass subscription? Would be another big win. But how many times can I say, hey, look at me with the third-party game win when I need the first-party game win, right? So
Yep.
third parties will be big here. I don't think we will go another year without really relying on that. We're going to hopefully see Contraband, right, from Avalanche Studios. This was the
Right.
game that people got
Forgot
excited
about
about, right?
that.
This is that heist in the 70s. It's going to have like a very cool color and like theme to it
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Like multiplayer, it should be fun, right? But like that's another one. Better show me that, right? Don't tell me about it. I want to see Contraband now. And what other third parties do you have? You look around the landscape. What's that big third party title that will go, oh, wow? And we all talked about it last year. We wanted Elden Ring on Game Pass. It didn't happen. But you turn your attention now, Armored Core. Now, does From Software need Xbox and Game Pass? Of course not. But Xbox needs a big win like that on the Game Pass service to say, hey, we might not have the first party, but we're going to get you this and we're going to save you some money. People like that. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's where you turn your attention to what big third-party games are coming that we can attach ourselves onto.
Since we're dreaming on a personal front, State of Decay 3. I love
really?
State of Decay. I want more State of Decay. I'd like to see what a modern, crazy, you're using the cloud and everything else State of Decay would look like, right? And then more is just literally a dream of if I'm Phil, I'm on Phil's team and I'm trying to figure out how we fight this, like whatever. One of the big things I think we have with everything we've listed and talked about so far, right, is, and this is not going to sound great to many hardcore gamers, but it is the fact that none of it's recognizable IP. I still want to see Marvel games do something exclusively with Xbox. I'd love to see DC do something, but I mean, like, it is that thing of like, all right, well, PlayStation's got Spider-Man. PlayStation's got Wolverine.
Yeah.
Nintendo had Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Like, what hero or set of heroes can get their own exclusive game over on Xbox?
Yeah, Barrett's currently showing, if you're watching on YouTube, of course,
Oh,
Indiana Jones,
Indiana
another one.
Jones.
You can also turn your attention. We're talking about 20-plus
Yeah.
internal studios now with Bethesda, right?
Yeah.
You turn your attention to Bethesda, you look at Machine Games making this, right? We all want Wolfenstein,
Yeah.
but of course, hey, Indiana Jones, the movie is coming out this summer. You would think you were going to try to hit close to that.
No way.
We only got in a CGI teaser, so I'm sure we're far away from that, but you would expect... Are we going to show some sort of indie? Because indie hype is going to be the hottest right now this summer. You got to be close to that. Also, id Software, coming off of Doom Eternal. What is it doing? Where are they at?
Sure.
Where are these heavy hitters that we
These are
need?
the dominoes
right?
we talk about, but somebody's got to hit them, and one of them's got to be good already. God
I
damn
mean,
it!
Compulsion Games was another studio that was acquired and has gone radio silent. We
Yeah.
have no idea what Compulsion is truly making that they've shown to the world, right?
That was We Happy Few, right?
Yes,
Okay.
We Happy Few. In Exile is another studio that is working on something, right? I can go down the list of all these teams that are working on something, but the other issue is you have all these dominoes, Greg, but what is the line? They have to fall in the line, and you have to start putting these dominoes
Yeah.
in a line,
Yeah,
right?
100%, 100%.
From Avowed to, of course, Starfield, Hellblade. Like, it starts with one, and then you line them up afterwards with the dates.
And that-
but what are these dates?
And
Where are they?
And I'm right there with you. Is the line needs to become clear, right? Because it is right now, like everyone is just looking at Starfield because that's all you know about, like the next big thing that's coming from them.
Well, the thing is, like, the past 2 or 3 years or so, Xbox has been really good at this summer showcase being like, here is a heavy hitter you're going to get once per month, like on Game Pass. And then last year they did that supercut, and it was, here's everything, and you're going to get it in the next 12 months, except for Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Yeah.
And Forza didn't make that date. Starfield got put. Like, that's
Yeah.
another big question of, are we coming with the same messaging, Lucy?
Yeah.
Because y'all failed with that messaging. You missed it by a country mile. If we brought up that graphic, we would probably circle close to 25 to 50% of those games did not make the 12-year window that you went out
12
and
months.
said in front of everyone, right? Which is insane to say. So do they come with a different wording on that? Because you missed it. You can't say that again, I don't think.
Lots of questions for what we're going to see here. at the old Xbox event.
So much fun. And there's so much more
excited.
to it, right? Like on the Xbox ecosystem, you still think about Cloud. You think about Kojima out there. You think
Yeah.
about the homepage that Xbox fans are dying for a redesign or a refresh, and the team is working on that. Is that something you show? Achievements need a major overhaul. There are so many boxes to tick, right? Mid-gen refreshes. I know it's crazy to think about, but we've talked about it before, right? It's
We've
like
been going a while.
we're getting there where it's like, oh man, would they dare announce something like that? Like we're moving towards this point where it's wild that we're still asking for games when we continue to move. And this is a team in 2021 that won Publisher of the Year from Metacritic, right? Had the best output. And then 2022 missed the mark. 2023 we're missing the mark again. Like it's a tough place to be in right now. And they have a lot to talk about. And I think June, that's why it all circles back to June. Circle your calendars. This is a big, important one for them. And we say it every year, but this might be the one.
This is going to be the Sony E3 2015.
You would think, right, Lucy? Like it,
That
it
was
almost
the
Xbox Game
has to
Showcase
be.
of Dreams.
That was the showcase of dreams, man. I really want it for Xbox. Like,
Hell yeah.
been
They've
rooting for
made
them.
so many smart choices, and I want to see them pay off.
Yeah.
And I'd love to know a million things about why Redfall released the way it did. You know,
How Redfall even was made. Like not in a horrible way, but like it just seems like such a mismatch of a studio.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
Yeah, that's interesting, Lucy. Yeah, because we've seen the word passion project thrown around,
Yeah.
right? And like Xbox has given these studios a big umbrella to be safe in and say, hey, create something different or do something you want to do, right? And so we've seen a lot of that. So it's not to me like, oh, wow, why'd you make that choice? But it was like, oh, we tried something different, but you just missed the mark right there, right? There were certain things that you needed to hit on that game that you just didn't do. Love that you tried something different.
of course.
But we just missed it, unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, what are those questions that go into it? And thankfully, maybe we'll get some answers because Lucy and Greg, I have a little teaser for you.
What?
Today, this afternoon, on the Kind of Funny Xcast, myself and my two gaming dads, Paris Lilly and Gary Whitta, will be joined by the one, the only head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, to join us on the podcast. My birthday is Sunday. Xbox has to do some good in June, and it's going to be a very special episode. So we're going to sit down with Phil. We'll talk all things Xbox. Of course, the Summer Games Showcase. We'll talk about anything under the sun. So get ready for that one. Of course, you, Kind of Funny best friends, can write in kindoffunny.com/Xcast with any of your burning questions, comments, and concerns. We'll get them read, and then you can enjoy that podcast tomorrow because, yes, it is embargoed. You cannot watch it live, but you can catch it over on YouTube and on podcast services around the globe. That's my
Amazing.
teaser. I'll leave with you.
Hell yeah.
Fantastic,
I wonder
Mike.
why you asked me, what would you ask Phil Spencer if you could ask him anything? I was like,
Mike he calls up Imran. He's like, yo, just
Imran,
I was
what
taking
you
a
ask him?
shower. If you're going to talk to Phil Spencer, what would you ask him?
I do that every
I
time.
was just like, is this an icebreaker? What's going on?
Lucy James, it is incredible to hang with you.
so great
I'll
to
see
see
you at the
you.
end of the show
Yes.
for our fun post show. Don't forget you can write in with your super chats and or Twitch resubs with questions for these two, or if you just want to talk gaming, we'll answer it. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Great job, Mike. Good job.
Thanks, Mike.
Take care. You know what I mean? Paris Lily sucks.
Wow.
Number 2 on the rope report, ladies and gentlemen. Spider-Man 2 is getting a prequel comic. This is the PlayStation blog. Saturday, May 6th is Free Comic Book Day. And to celebrate, we teamed up with Marvel to release a comic that will serve as a prequel to the upcoming game Marvel's Spider-Man 2. When we initially sat down with the team at Marvel, we explored a few different ideas about what kinds of stories we could tell in a prequel comic. But we kept coming back to the same core premise. What if Peter, Miles, and MJ had to team up against a new supervillain whose powers they didn't understand? Additionally, we wanted to make sure we could get a peek into what the heroic trio has been doing since the events of Marvel's Spider-Man and Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. What is Pete up to now that there are 2 Spider-Men in this city? How? And it should be Spider-Mans.
Is that the actual
Well, it's a proper name, right? Spider-Man.
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spider-Men, you lowercase then, you know?
Yeah.
No big deal, PlayStation blog and Marvel. I guess I just know more than you. How is Miles doing in school? And how is MJ's journalism career going? Some of these questions I wasn't really wondering.
Yeah.
Yo, Miles, you keeping your grades up in school? In this story, their lives collide as Peter, Miles, and MJ attempt to balance their responsibilities to the city and each other. They keep coming back to one of the main themes of the comic.
Sorry, how
Wait,
many
what?
questions is it? How many questions have you answered by this
They keep
comic?
coming back to one of the main themes of the comic. Is magic real? I didn't see that one coming. I'm sorry. If I'm being honest, I didn't see that one coming.
Oh, so are we doing a
Mysterio?
Yeah, this is gonna be a Mysterio thing.
Because in this action-packed issue, a beloved Spider-Man, a supervillain, makes their first appearance in our universe and appears to have supernatural abilities that defy mere webs and fists. None other than the Hood. It wasn't Mysterio. It was the Hood.
Damn.
Who?
Got me.
He's a beloved supervillain that will answer the
beloved
question if magic
supervillain,
is real.
the Hood.
Oh, okay.
Someone got cast as him. Anthony Ramos? No.
You look into that. I'll keep reading because
Yeah.
it's still going.
For the MCU, at least.
What's happened to you? Oh, you dropped your phone. We know you've been patiently waiting for news on Marvel Spider-Man 2, and we thank you for hanging in there with us.
Oh.
Today we have one more piece of news, the standalone release of Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered on PS5 console. Later this month, Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered will become available for a standalone purchase on the PlayStation Store. This title was previously only included as part of the Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales Ultimate Edition. On top of that, when the game becomes available, there will be an upgrade program for owners of the original Marvel Spider-Man on PlayStation 4. Whether you have a disc or a digital copy of the PlayStation 4 game, you will be able to upgrade to Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered on the PlayStation 5 for $10.
Nice.
Owners of Spider-Man Miles Morales can still obtain Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered by upgrading to the Ultimate Edition through the main menu of the PS5 version of Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Lovely.
Look at that. You announced you have a comic book out today. Marvel and Spider-Man got to be like, we got some too.
Yeah, well, my comic sadly doesn't answer the question.
Is magic,
magic
real?
real?
That's what we all want to know. Is magic real? Luce, are you excited for a prequel comic? Catching up on what's been going on with the trio?
No.
Yeah?
I don't care.
Okay.
No, I mean, I'm excited for Spider-Man 2. I really enjoyed Spider-Man and I really enjoyed Miles Morales, but you know me. I'm moving away from the superhero life, Greg. I'm just not in it to win it anymore. I've been burned so many times by the MCU. I just don't
Sure.
have it in me.
I want to say I really appreciate you calling out the MCU and not on
Oh, yeah.
Christmas when I made you watch Wonder Woman 1984 and we were all like, this is terrible. And I'm so sorry.
My favorite thing was that you made us get up and it was a 9 a.m. start sharp to watch Wonder Woman. Although it did have Pedro Pascal in, so
I had to let you know.
Yeah.
You know, I just had to let you know. And then I had to explain that in the DC Universe, magic is real. And that's how
Yeah.
we're going to explain this stuff. The movie just did a
My
bad job.
favorite thing about it is that we all sat in complete silence until you said something. Because we were like,
You know, it's been rough on me.
can't be.
DCEU was rough on old Greg Miller, but James Gunn's going to fix it all right now. Don't worry about it.
No, I mean-
Back to this.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm excited. The thing is, as well, it's like, I know you're waiting for more news. If only the Venom voice actor hadn't tweeted it all out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's interesting. He had no reference to Tony Todd, but also it's a weird thing. We know you've been patiently. We thank you for hanging in there. They didn't say anything. They didn't even say there'll be news soon.
No.
You know what I mean? Whatever. You assume if the rumored PlayStation event is the thing, this
You
will be the
raised my
headliner.
hopes and dashed
Yeah,
them
exactly.
most
And it's just like,
excellently,
guess
sir.
what? You can still buy the collector's edition, like or the the remastered. Remastered was a lot of fun. That's great.
Great.
I am looking forward to this. I'm interested. It's a free comic book. Seems like they're already.
Oh, it's free. Okay.
Yeah, it's free comic book day. So
My
like.
ears perk up.
Yeah, right. Well, unless that was totally weird, right? Barrett, it's free. You threw up the thing earlier. I assume it was if they're calling out the fact that it's free.
Oh,
Comic
no,
book day,
it
gotta
is
be
free comic book day. Yeah.
Well, they say it's free comic book day, but they never say it. Well, anyways, free comic book day is a great day. You should all get it, and you can download it for free. But more importantly, you should go to your local comic book shop. Go in there. They'll have a bevy of different comics for the day that are free on May 6th that you can grab, and hopefully buy something as well to support stuff.
Yes.
I'm excited. I like stuff that is actually in universe. One of my favorite. And this is such a goofy thing because I did way better stories at IGN. But back in the day, I remember one of the first times I ever got to take my love of comics and make it into news was the Batman Arkham.
Oh, City.
Yeah, City books
Yeah.
tying into the game showed Robin's suit for the first time. And I got to break that out and like screen cap my iPad and do all these different things.
And
I
that
was
was
like,
that was a cool like building up of like Bruce was going in there like in disguise just
Yeah.
to kind of see on the the ground. That was a cool tie-in comic for sure.
a lot of comics that won't get a lot of thing for them. Superman Returns. Their prequel comics were good too.
Yeah.
Now the problem
Yeah.
there, the movie not good. I'm not arguing that. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the problem is the comics had so much more lore that they never referenced in the movie, and that was I think the movie you could have enjoyed more if you read the comics personally.
Well,
Kind of like when you were reading all the appendices of your Lord of the Rings, then you're like, oh, this happened.
well, I mean,
Cool.
yeah. But, I mean, I really want to see, I really want to read the Bloodborne comic. Apparently that's not bad. Apparently it's pretty good.
Sure. I imagine.
Yeah.
People love that Bloodborne
They do. Like
for
hand
the
thing.
story that you have to go watch a 90-minute video to understand.
Shouts to Vati Vitya.
Number 3 on the Roper Report. Housemarque has expanded its workforce. We'll read from Kale Adam at Push Square. Housemarque, the Finnish developer behind titles like Returnal and Resogun, is PlayStation Studios' resident arcade expert. Since joining the first-party family, it seems the company has grown to 110 people, with that number likely to increase as it gears up for whatever comes next, parentheses, though they aren't in the habit of making sequels. We know that Housemarque had around 80 employees when it was acquired and will surely continue to ramp up as time goes on. This is welcome news to us, as it is nice to see Housemarque appear to be in the ascendant. After all, it wasn't even that long ago that the developer itself, one of the premier studios within the genre, famously declared that arcade games were dead. Are you excited to see a thriving Housemarque can do? Do you hope it stays true to more of its retro roots? Please insert a coin to access the comment section below. That's cute. I see why we kept that. Push square.
Yeah.
Are you excited to see what Housemarque does next, Luce?
I am, but I will say that I was absolutely shockingly bad at Returnal.
Oh,
But,
yeah. It was a
it's
punishing game, right?
Punishing,
Yeah.
but it's a great game. I really enjoyed Resogun too, because what's going on?
I was waiting for it to be Returnal stuff, and he's like, no, I'll bring up the Eugene Jarvis game they partnered up with. All right,
Hey,
cool.
Next Machina fucking.
Next
wraps
Machina was
out.
good. Nobody's saying it's not good. We're not saying it's not good.
That's good.
But I mean, like Dead Nation, you could have brought up, you know?
No, I'm excited
Super
for them.
smart.
Like it's really great to see them being invested in and
Yeah.
growing. And so I think Returnal was a really, really cool game that I enjoy watching. But I mean, there are points of it where you like get into the flow state, but then I would get really discouraged, like bosses and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
So,
you die and have to work your way back there, and you can't find the astronaut that time. You only had him the
Yeah.
last time. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
But-
I was annoyed.
Very excited.
Yeah, me too. I love Housemarque as a developer. I think they make really quality, really great games. And it was the fact that I think what's cool about Housemarque is their narrative and their story has been so public. Where it was like, yo, we're making Super Stardust HD. We're making these games that are arcade inspired things. And then they had to come out and be like, yo, arcade is dead. We have to pivot or we're going to go out of business. And we're doing these things. And then, of course, they canceled the game they were working on because PlayStation came in and was like, let's make this other thing you want to do, Returnal. And then Returnal was coming along so well, they bought them. And now, again, this is always what we talk about with acquisitions. I know that acquisitions often get a bad rap, I think, you know, because of course we talk about them in our things, and that usually ends with a layoff and closure of something. What's up, Waypoint? Here, when you talk about this stuff, right, I think you're talking about, cool, let us take care of paying everybody and worrying about HR and do all this stuff. You guys make the game. Let us come in and invest in you.
You worry about being creative.
And let's, you know, I think, you know, Returnal was a nice turning point for Housemarque where they really got the praise they've deserved, I think, for several of their games on how good they've been and where they've been. And so I think that will be interesting to see what they do next and what PlayStation wants out of them.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what else is interesting? Patreon.com/kindafunny. Over on Patreon.com/kindafunny, you can get exclusive access to my mind as I do a Greg way each and every day and rant and rave, usually in the car, and tell you secrets about things that are happening in the video game world. Of course, you could also get all the shows ad-free. You could watch us record most of the podcast live unless they have embargoed content, like Phil Spencer being on tomorrow's XCast, and oh so much more. But most importantly for you right now, you can get every episode of Kinda Funny Games Daily ad-free as a video and an MP3 on patreon.com/kindafunny. But guess what? You're not there. So here's a word from our sponsor.
Shout out to Honey for sponsoring this episode. Honey is the easy way to save when shopping on your iPhone or computer. Thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past, and we all know there's nothing better than the feeling of saving money. Honey's the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one it finds to your cart. Here's how it works. Imagine you're shopping on one of your favorite sites. When you check out, the Honey button appears, and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. You wait a few seconds as the Honey guy dances. It searches for coupons it can find for the site, and if it finds a working coupon, you will watch the prices drop. We here at Kinda Funny have been using Honey for years, and it has literally saved us thousands on tech, costumes, food, you name it. Honestly, I just love how easy it is to set, forget, and save. Honey doesn't just work on desktops, it also works on your iPhone. You just activate it on Safari on your phone, save on the go. And if you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out. By getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this show. You can get PayPal Honey for free at joinhoney.com/kindafunny. That's joinhoney.com/kindafunny. Shout out to Rocket Money for sponsoring this episode. We all love gobbling up content, and we have an understanding of what subscriptions we use. Or do we? Do you know how much your subscriptions really cost? Most Americans think they spend around $80 a month on subscriptions when the actual total is closer to $200. That's right. You You out there, you could be wasting hundreds of dollars each month on subscriptions you don't even know about. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending and it helps you lower your bills, all in one place. Rocket Money has saved some of us here at Kind of Funny a ton of money, and it can help you too. Stop throwing away your money. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/kindafunny. That's rocketmoney.com/kindafunny. rocketmoney.com/kindafunny.
And we're back, everybody. Firing off headlines and ideas to Blessing
Oh,
in between things here.
wow.
I know.
Multitasking.
That's what I do here.
Wow.
Number 4. Wow. Number 4 on the Roper Report. Titanfall's director is working on something new at Respawn. This is Tom Ivan at VGC. A very small team is in the early stages of developing an original IP at Respawn Entertainment. In an interview with Axios, Respawn boss Vince Zampella said the Skunk Works team is being led by Steve Fukuda, the game director on Titanfall and Titanfall 2. Quote, the mission is to find the fun in something new, end quote, he said. In another interview, Zampella said he'd love to see Titanfall 3 happen, but that quote, there are no exact dedicated plans for that, end quote. In January, Respawn owner EA announced plans to close Apex Legends Mobile, and it also reportedly canceled an unannounced Titanfall game that was being planned as a single-player experience for Apex Legends. Respawn recently opened a third development studio to work on Apex Legends. Respawn's Star Wars Jedi Survivor was released last week, and the studio has at least 2 more Star Wars games in the works. One is an internally developed first-person shooter helmed by former LucasArts veteran and Medal of Honor co-creator Peter Hirschman. The other is a strategy game developed in collaboration with Bit Reactor, a new studio formed by veterans of XCOM and Civilization maker Firaxis. Loose. I loved Titanfall. Titanfall
1
1.
or 2? Oh.
Sorry, sometimes the wall talks to us and I wasn't ready for it. I love Titanfall 1. Titanfall 1 was, I had a whole thing at IGN where I made Alfredo make me good at first-person shooters so I could be competitive at it, and I was good. Like, we did a lot of the training for it. And then Titanfall 2, I enjoyed, obviously, the campaign like everybody else did. Yeah, but I'm also not the shooty campaign person. Yeah. So, like, I was like, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
But Affecting Cause, though, one of the best levels.
Of course. I am... As much as I love Titanfall, I am of the belief we do not need another Titanfall.
I don't think we're getting any Titanfall.
Well, good. Then I just was. Everybody keeps calling it out. It got canceled. I was like, I just don't think it matters that much.
That's the thing. It's like would I like to see any Titanfall? Yeah, it'd be really cool. But ultimately, did it sell enough? Is it making the money that it needs to? That EA is going to invest in it? No, probably not. And, even canning an unannounced Titanfall game that was being planned as a single-player experience to Apex. Apex is the cash cow. And
it is.
If even they don't see the value in that, then that's a real big shame. But like, it kind of is indicative of the way they feel about Titanfall as a brand.
Sure. And that's the thing is I think you step away from it. And so I like the idea that a very small team is working on something new, an original IP, and try to get inspired by it and do it. And I wonder what you pivot to and how you do that, especially, in a marketplace right now that is dominated by established IP, as you see with the other 2 Star Wars games they're working on.
And then I assume another Jedi.
Oh, they have to.
100%.
Yeah. You figure, I mean, this one's already a juggernaut, right? You have to double back on that and see what Cal's up to next.
Oh, Cal.
Oh,
Little
Cal.
mullet.
I didn't put that on.
You didn't?
No.
Handlebar?
No.
Oh.
My Cal's, I have a very...
My Cal's a very serious Jedi.
He is. All right, I'm not going to be running around like a clown or whatever. There's the trophy for putting on the mullet and kicking somebody. I haven't done that yet, but I will eventually. I'm starting my platinum.
If you need help, I figured out what move that was. Kevin actually was the one who discovered it and helped me.
Oh.
So
you just tell us. Is it a spoiler or something?
Spoiler move?
If you don't want to know how to get the trophy, the Roadhouse or whatever it's called, the trophy where you put on the mullet and kick them.
You have to use the crossguard stance.
Oh, okay. Remember when we watched Roadhouse for no reason that one time?
Well, because I own it on Blu-ray and it's a great movie.
It was a great movie.
Great movie. Come on now. Terry Funk. What are you going to do?
Hell yeah. No, I mean, it just makes me wonder is Respawn big enough to handle all those projects?
That's a big question. Of course, Vince overseeing a lot now, right?
Yeah.
It's that and Dice
Moving
and everything else. Yeah. So it's interesting to see what they come up with and where they go. I think it's fascinating that they did go through and close down Apex Mobile, right? I know, I know
Yeah.
that was a news item that caught me off guard because usually when we hear about a mobile game like that launching, I assume it's just doing fine. It's printing money and nobody cares about it. Whereas this one was like, no, it's not doing what we need it to do, so we're stopping. But then you do wonder, like, are they then having a chilling effect on what Apex can actually do? Then what are you actually looking for from those teams other than Star Wars? How do you come on and do that?
I mean, they just launched a new Legend, right? Or
I
are
couldn't tell
launching
you.
a new Legend?
Andy could tell you if he was awake, but sadly, it's almost 11. He won't be here till 11:30. You know what I mean?
He's not.
He's
in the
not
city.
even in the city.
Rolls out of his dirty bed of socks,
He's in LA.
picks up his can of chili. I don't believe it.
I saw a picture of, well, he tagged LAX in his Insta story.
Easy way to fake it. You know what I mean?
And I was
I can
like,
take a photo of the floor right now and tag LAX.
You're right.
Oh my God, Andy's lied to us all.
Bear, go back to your house and check his room.
I'll
See if
text
he's there.
Lulu, see if he's still.
Thank
home.
you. Yeah.
Trust him.
Number 5 on the Roper Report.
Hello.
Street Fighter 6 sales target is 10 million, Capcom president says. This is Chris Scullion at VGC. Capcom president has said the company aims to sell 10 million copies of Street Fighter 6. In an interview with Famitsu, the president was asked if attempting to widen the game scope and make the the series more appealing to less hardcore fighting game fans had an impact on the development cost. Quote, the Street Fighter series is our flagship title, so we had no hesitation in investing in it. Over the past few years, multiple titles in the Resident Evil series have sold 10 million copies, and the Monster Hunter series now has titles that are aiming for 20 million copies. Street Fighter V has already sold over 7 million copies. If we can use our digital sales experience, we should be able to aim for 10 million copies with the next game.
Bit of a leap up.
Huh?
Bit of a leap up.
But they're using their digital sales experience.
Of course. Okay.
That's why we're trying to do everything we couldn't do before with Street Fighter 6. That's why we are here. That's why we're where we are today, end quote. Street Fighter V's 7 million sales make it the best-selling game in the series in terms of home console sales, according to Capcom, meaning it expects Street Fighter 6 to break this record. Will they do it, Luce?
I hope they do, but I also hope they're not doing a classic Square Enix move of
This underperformed. This didn't meet expectations. This didn't meet expectations. We set expectations to the fucking moon.
too high.
And so, yeah, it did not. The Tomb Raider game that sold however many million didn't actually live up to what we wanted it to be.
But no, I mean, I'm not a Street Fighter person, I'm
Nor
a
am I.
fighting game person, but all of the buzz around Street Fighter 6 has been incredibly, incredibly positive. Everything we do with Street Fighter is taking off quite a lot of positive buzz around it. So I hope it hits it. 10 million, still a lot. Though.
That's my thing about it, right? Where it's like 10 million is so many and 7 million on 5 is great and awesome, but
When
it's like
did 5 come out? Like how many?
not that long ago, right? Well, I mean, like I'm old, but hold on.
Yeah, but
Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5 came out in 2016 on PlayStation
okay, so not
4
too
and
long.
Windows.
Okay.
An arcade version came to Japan exclusively in 2019. I mean, like, Blessing is over the moon excited about it. Khalif Adams so excited about it. I see people talking about it. I understand the hype of it, but like, I don't look at it and go, I gotta buy that. This is gonna be the one that pulls me into fighting games.
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I'm just like, I think my poor wrists are too old for that stuff now.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever be good enough at it. But
Sure.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there that I like.
And they're doing the low skill mode for you and me that like don't play it all the time, right? They can just do the easy stuff. But again, like, I don't know. Chat or what is it? Sage says Street Fighter 5 did 7 million. Street Fighter 6 can definitely do 10 million. All right, I believe you. I guess I don't know.
But if it doesn't, that's on you.
Yeah, exactly. That's on you, Sage. I didn't do anything about that. You know what I mean? I understand there's hype for it. I just what did the last Mortal Kombat do? That would be a good question, I guess. Because Mortal Kombat, I feel, is the more mainstream cinematic. Like it's not the fighting game. It is a fighting game, but it's not like I think Street Fighter is one where you want a pure fight or whatever.
I think it's more impressive that 5 was able to sell that well with how mixed it was received at launch.
People didn't dig it that much.
Yeah,
did they?
at start, it like eventually like got some good traction later on down the road. But if they come out with this being like an absolute banger at launch, I think it could easily hit that 10 million.
Okay, we'll see, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Street Fighter 5 was PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah.
What about that?
Oh, and I guess this is multi-platform. Yeah,
so-
that's a good.
Yeah,
point. That's a
yeah.
good
We're
point.
fine.
Not doing it. Blessing, come in here. Blessing's finally.
Oh, is he here?
Yeah, he's here.
No, he's in LA.
No, that's Andy.
Oh, right.
Blessing's here.
Hi, bud.
I need your opinion. Do you think Street Fighter 6 is going to sell 10 million copies easy?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Cool.
Just because like across the cross-platform and the hype around it and yada yada.
I think because it's cross-platform, I also think that this Street Fighter is going to be very feature complete in terms of having like all the stuff for the hardcore people in terms of characters, fighting options, all like the accoutrements in terms of the bells and whistles they're throwing in there to make it like the full Street Fighter experience. This actually feels like a step forward when you're talking about how good it feels to play and how much it's doing. But then also on the casual side, right? Like they've added the World Tour mode, and so if you're somebody who's coming in and you're not a big competitive fighting game person, you're not just going in and getting your ass beat and going, oh man, what am I doing here, right? Like they've added in this mode for you to where you can play almost RPG style, where it is you're going around the world, you have your own character, you're meeting other Street Fighter characters, there's a bit of story in it, you're having fun there, not having to worry about the hard competitive aspect of it. I think the question is, will the Greg Millers of the world be into Street Fighter 6? I don't think so, right? Like I think if you're not a fighting game person, then it's probably not going to speak to you. But if you're someone who's even lightly a fighting game person, I think this will be the Street Fighter for you more so than even previous Street Fighters.
Well, thank you for your expertise on that.
Of course.
Looking good too. What are you lifting stuff? You doing curls at home? Doing a Bowflex? No, Ring Fit. Okay, Ring Fit.
Let's get on that.
And you're wrong. I asked for what it sold. Mortal Kombat sold. Nitro writes in and says Mortal Kombat 11 sold 15 million copies in 2022. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for the context, everybody. I'm not good with numbers, period, let alone fighting game numbers. So I appreciate that. But speaking of fighting game, well, not really. This is a fighting game in the way Sifu's a fighting game. A new number 6, a new Double Dragon game has been announced. This is Wesley Yinpool at Eurogamer. There's a new Double Dragon game. It's called Double Dragon Gaiden Rise of the Dragons. And it's out on PC and all the consoles this summer. Oh, I don't like this art style. I don't like this art style one bit, I'll tell you that. This new Double Dragon is developed by Secret Base, the studio behind well-received multiplayer horror beat-em-up The Streets of Red, Devil's Dare Deluxe. It stars Double Dragon's famous duo Billy and Jimmy Lee, as well as new playable characters in what's described as a modernized celebration of the beat-em-up genre. There's co-op, couch co-op for launch, online co-op later this year, 13 playable characters, and pixel art visuals. Here's the official blurb. Quote, New York City in the year 1990X. The city has been devastated by nuclear war. Its citizens fight for survival as riots, crime, and chaos flood the streets. Criminal gangs terrorize what remains as they vie for dominance. Unwilling to endure these conditions any longer, young Billy and Jimmy Lee take it upon themselves to reclaim their city, end quote. Roguelite elements come from the dynamic mission select function. Here, the order in which you choose your missions affects the mission length, number of enemies, and difficulty. You spend cash you've earned at the end of each stage to unlock upgrades for your chosen characters or save up. If you die, you can spend remaining cash on tokens that permanently unlock extra characters and bonuses in between sessions, or you can buy continue with your token and keep the run going. There's permadeath too.
Oh, sounds great for beat 'em up fans.
Yeah,
Oh.
that sounds cool.
Yeah.
I didn't like the art style at first glance, but when they're talking about the roguelite and the coins and stuff, that's cool. That's cool.
Reminded me a little bit more of Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah. Everybody's always chasing that. Even TMNT.
Chasing that high. Oh, the TMNT was good though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So we never talked about it. Beat 'em ups do anything for you?
Nah.
For me, it was always getting annoyed of thinking I was on the right plane and not being on the right plane. I know games have gotten better about that. That was one of the things people talked about for TMNT that they liked about it. So
yeah, I really enjoyed TMNT, but then again, I played it with like it was 6 of us playing.
Sure.
And so it was
so anarchy.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Nobody knew what was happening at any time, just screaming and punching.
Blur of colors on the screen. But no, I mean, yeah, it looks cool. Not necessary for me, but everything they're saying. I mean, I like a roguelite.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Are you a beat 'em up guy?
No. Used to in my old days, Death and Return of Superman, I was all about it. Yeah. But like Double Dragon, I remember playing a lot on my Sega Master System, which was always weird for people who came over. They're like, I know this from Nintendo. I'm like, it's the same but different. Blah blah blah.
Same different.
That's about it. Number 7, final on the Roper Report for your Wednesday. Planet of Lana finally has a release date. Planet of Lana tweets, it's finally time. With this brand new trailer, we're happy to announce that Planet of Lana will launch on PC, Xbox, and Xbox Game Pass on May 23rd. Hashtag indie games, hashtag Xbox. Planet of Lana, as you see here, if you're watching, a game that is quite beautiful, has got a lot of talk about its art style. If you're driving a UPS van and can't look at your phone, I understand. Instead, here what you're getting is basically, what I would call a really beautiful, colorful, but then imagine like Limbo kind of thing. It's like,
It's
2D.
a mixture of Last Guardian and Limbo, I would say,
Good call.
visually and gameplay mechanics. I got to play this at the Mix for a little bit, and I really enjoyed what I played, solving environmental puzzles to get through a level with your little cat-looking friend. It's great.
I'm in.
May 23rd.
Oh, I have the demo for this actually because it was in Steam Next Fest.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
yeah,
sense.
but I haven't played it yet. But
Well, look at you. Too big for the games with Barrett Courtney. He's out there. He's doing it. He's playing them.
front lines. I'm just still chopping away at Resident Evil 4.
Just a cook. All right.
But-
May
Yeah, that looks
23rd.
great. Was that in one of the you'll get this in 12 months thing? It's kind of coming in.
I don't know if it was. I don't think it
Close
was.
to
It's been shown before for sure. Yeah.
I don't know if it was part of that 12 months thing, but it was shown at some Xbox event.
Yes.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay. While it's happened on Twitch, we've been raided by Giant Bomb, apparently, as
Oh,
well.
hi.
Come in and talk about Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog here.
Jeff Grubb's still over there?
Yeah.
Well,
Also, I was meant to do morning mess this morning and I did not. So
fuck you, Jeff Grubb. Piece of shit. You know what I mean?
I think I'm doing it tomorrow or Friday. I'm not sure.
Just talk about Kind of Funny the whole time while you're there, you know?
Deal. All right.
Thank you. Loose. Oh, God, there he is. Oh, yeah, he's gone.
You're gonna pay, Greg.
God damn. Oh, God. There he is again. Luce, I'm excited to see how Jeff Grubb will make me pay. Is he going to SGF? Am I going to see him in LA? Okay, great.
Yeah,
I'll see
you
him
will.
then.
That's a threat.
That is a threat. SGF is still so far away. If I wanted to know
It's
something.
It's 6 weeks away, Greg.
No, I got really upset last week when I started getting emails about booking stuff, and I was like, "Why are you so? Oh, it's not early at all. Shit, I gotta book our plane tickets. Yeah. Anyways, I'm so excited for SGF, but it's so far away. If I wanted something more immediate, say what came to the mom and grop shops. Where would I go?
What? Oh, co-host says the official list of upcoming software across each and every platform, as listed by the Kind of Funny Games daily show host each and every weekday.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if you
Been a while
remember.
since
I was
I
gonna
did
say I couldn't remember if you would remember that, but we
And I was like, oh yeah,
we came in fast and furious on this show thanks to
highlighted it
SF
for
Traffic.
me.
Out today, Super Dungeon Maker on Switch and PC, Tape to Tape Early Access on PC, Gravewood High on PC, Kaku, Ancient Seal on PC, Cactus Cowboy, Plants at War on PC, Killbug on PC, and Minute Fun Racer on PC. New dates for you. Pokemon TCG Online will shut down on June 5th, 2023. Pokemon TCG Live launches 3 days later on June 8th. Wow, whatever. Fucking the king is dead. Long live the king. Biomutant comes to Nintendo Switch on November 30th. You gonna play that one, Mike? Nope, not gonna do that one. All right. F1 23 launches June 16th for Xbox One, Xbox X, and S, I assume, PS4, PS5, and PC. Deals of the day for you. Target's Zelda Tears of the Kingdom freebie with purchase of the game is an adventure hit pack available in-store on May 12th. While supplies are limited, you one per purchase. There it is.
What's a hip pack?
I assume it's a fanny
It's a
pack, right?
fanny pack.
Yeah, it's a
Oh.
little fanny pack.
But knowing Nintendo, they're like, we can't name a thing Fanny.
To be fair, couldn't get away with that in the UK.
I was going to say in the UK, I think it means pussy, right? Isn't that what it means?
Yes.
Big juicy pussy. Isn't that what it means, Luce, right? That's what they mean when you say fanny in the UK.
It is 11 a.m.
This is our day. This is our lives every day, Lucy. Save
This is
us.
what I live with.
You
For
know,
2.5
you know,
years.
we have fun here. You know what I
have
mean?
fun.
Jeff Grubb would never. You know, that's the problem with him.
We have HR.
Yeah. That's a great point. That might be the difference between us. That might be the difference between us. I'm looking at the we have a thing here. No, the question came from Greg Sinclair, which I like, but we kind of tiptoed into some of this stuff, so I'm not going to do it with our Xbox discussion. Instead, I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that if you're watching live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames or youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, you have a special job.
Oh, God.
I'm just catching up to everything I just said. You need to keep us honest by going to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up. Then I read it here and we set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames or listening on podcast services around the globe. New John Plus, formerly JJUREIDINII, writes in.
Mate.
This one is more of a quote, I was wrong and Greg was right, end quote. I wrote in the other day and Greg pointed out that my gamer tag and PSN profile were too complicated.
Oh, Greg, no.
I chose New John Plus since I'm named after my dad. I'd like to thank Greg for his infinite wisdom and for helping me make this change. Fuck yes.
That's a good
If
good
you want to
username,
be
too.
friends with somebody with a respectable PSN and gamer tag, New John Plus, JOHN, all one word.
That's really good.
If memory serves, New John Plus was just writing into like, hey, I just want people
And
on my
you
list to talk to me.
shamed him
And then you
into-
Because
bullied
no
him
one's driving their car having a nice time, and they hear me say, "All right, well, if you want to be friends with this person, go ahead and write into JJUREIDIN." I think they're capitalized. They might be L's. I can't tell because of how it's written. I helped somebody.
New John Plus is a great name.
This is the problem, Luce, with your generation. Everybody wants to be coddled, all right? Nobody tells the hard truths like Greg Miller.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
He's back on his
I'll
hard
tell you about
truths
your
again.
PSN names, I'll tell you about beans, and I'll tell you about PC gaming. Not even once, ladies and gentlemen.
Beans.
I don't like beans, you know that. But everybody else is always like, whoa, beans are great. I'm like, what do you like about beans? They're like, oh, they taste like sand. I'm like, get out of here.
What beans
know
are
what I
you
mean?
eating?
Just the little bags of sand beans. That's one. The one you bite into it, like, what does this add to the flavor profile? Nothing.
Flavor profile of beans.
Eat a burrito. If you've only ever eaten beans, get a burrito with no beans and tell me it isn't better. You know what I mean? You're going out tonight on a hot date, get one burrito beans, one bean bliss burrito. Try half and see what y'all think.
If you are going out on a hot date and you're having a burrito beforehand, you've got other problems.
You watching this Elizabeth Olsen show, Love and Death, on HBO?
No, but Andrew Goldfarb said it was good.
Of course, he watches,
watches
everything.
everything.
Yeah, of course. I'm watching it with Jen. You know her.
Familiar.
We're enjoying it as well.
Okay.
My only beef, the whole show is about having an affair, so this
Your
isn't a
only beef.
spoiler. My only beef
Okay.
is that they meet in the hotel to have sex, you know what I mean, to have this affair or whatever. But every time she cooks like a like very nice lunch, but it's like Brussels sprouts and meat skewers, and I'm like, and they eat it before they fuck. You know what I mean?
That's a danger fuck.
No, you don't want that.
No?
You're all full.
You're all gassy and
I'm
stuff.
not about this. I'm not about this.
Eat after, because then you've just gone into a workout.
Yeah.
You're probably feeling a little peckish anyway.
Yeah.
Well, are you gonna wait 30 minutes like you're going swimming?
Exactly, right? You don't want to get a cramp.
No.
Nanobiologist has a couple in here that are both corrections and then just telling us we were right or whatever. He writes in with the hood because we didn't know much about the hood, right?
yeah.
The hood's powers are the hood is talented with firearms and various methods of criminal enterprise. He has access to dual Hydra/AIM technologies. Robbins, must be his name, seems to retain some knowledge of the occult, having reestablished his magical abilities via contract with another demon. He also retained a magical cloak alongside some mystical abilities such as teleportation and invisibility. He also uses the ability to channel magic through his guns. However, he only uses them as focus. So we will see how much of that makes it into the comic book. Remember, this is one comic book on Free Comic Book Day. Your usual comic book, 22 pages. I think Free Comic Book Day might even be a little bit lighter, so we'll see how much they
usually
shove in, because we got to know how Miles is doing in school, how MJ's journalism is going, how Pete's doing with 2 Spider-Men, and then all the hood.
There are too many.
Is magic real is also the major question.
You're just gonna open it. It's actually just gonna be a book.
We just wrote this out for you. Nano also says Apex Legends Season 17 is coming with a new legend called Ballistic,
It's
and it
Robin
launches
Atkin Downs, I
May
believe.
9th. Oh, yeah?
I believe so.
I like him. Nano also confirms Planet Lana was not part of the next 12 months press event.
No, you're on it today. Holy.
And then just for the hell of it, remember, we're going to end the show here for you podcast people. But then you, of course, can come over to youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, catch the on-demand version. Or if you're watching live, get the on-demand, as it happens version, where Mike will ask us a bunch of questions from Super Chats.
Mike has a very powerful stance going on
Mike's
right
always
now, by
got a
the way.
powerful stance over there. Stretching the games.
Stretching
You know
the
what I mean? However, Turd Ferguson writes in, not with a you're wrong, but with a warm-up to these questions. It says, Lucy, you can only save one. Trent Reznor or Phil Spencer?
I would like to apologize to the Xbox community, but I'm 100% saving Trent Reznor.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about. If you like that, of course, be part of the show by writing into kindoffunny.com/KFGD. You can watch us record it live on Twitch and YouTube. You can get it ad-free and support us in all of the cool stuff we do here and our employees at patreon.com/kindoffunny. Tomorrow, your Thursday hosts are going to be Tim and me. And then Friday's going to be Tim and Blessing. Lucy, as we said at the top of the show, you have a new comic book out today. What's it called again?
Octobriana and the Underground Full Tilt Boogie. My story is called Doxing Match. It's in there. You named it.
Everybody go to Lucy James Games on Twitter. I'm sure there's a link there that'll make it a little bit easier to get to. I'll retweet that as well. And then talk to me one more time about all the shows Gamespot's doing.
So all the new shows launching this week. So we have new episodes of The Law You Know, Kurt Locker, No HUD, How It Saved, Experts React, Firearms Experts React, and Tam and I, we have a new show called Spot On Friday.
Excellent.
YouTube.com/Gamespot.
Thank you for coming and hanging out with us today.
Thank you. It's good to be around.
Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
What are we doing?
We shake hands.
Oh, it's
You've only ever done Pandemic, I think. So I don't
yeah,
know.
and I mean, I lived with you,
Yeah, it's okay.
Hey, Mike.
Mike's here, everybody.
Hey.
Do you have time? I don't think I ever briefed you that now we do this little post-show thing. You got like
Yeah, I got
30?
15.
If you need to bounce, you can bounce.
Actually, how long does it take?
Usually we go to 11:30. Are we still doing
Oh, 2
11:30?
to 11:30.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
that's
cool.
fine. Yeah.
A little high on the chair, I think, bud.
I like
Cheers,
doing
Lana.
this. I like this.
Lower your chair, Mike.
Oh God, this is breaking news.
No, I'm just here to talk about headline. I figure this is the show.
Oh,
We're
sure.
technically here to talk
So
about
yeah, I gave you a really bad one, but I thought to skew.
I gave you a follow up to that.
I like
You
that.
can run it by Mike too. If
Well, what if we did Xbox Game Showcase the most
2023.
important one yet?
Ooh.
I like putting
I like
Xbox
that.
in the front rather than that. So like
Yeah.
Xbox Game Showcase the most important one yet.
okay, let's do it.
Most important one yet.
Question, because yeah, the
It looks
original
so good
headline
today.
was like, oh, they announced the date, and they made a really big deal of like it's June 11th, but didn't they announce that like 2 months ago?
They
did,
did. The
but they
time
didn't
is the
announce the
news here. The
time.
time is the
Time
news.
It's a big
The
deal.
time is
Interesting.
new.
It also might be
Okay.
a bit of the razzle dazzle. Like, oh, we know it hasn't been a great week, but let's talk about this thing.
Trying to get ahead of this one. All right, let's jump right in. Of course, Kind of Funny Best Friends, welcome to your Kind of Funny Games Daily Post Show, where I join your two show hosts and we ask you to come in and get involved, whether you're watching live on Twitch and or YouTube. Of course, you can super chat over on YouTube. You can resubscribe over on Twitch. Don't forget, if you, your mom, your dad, your auntie, your uncle, your dog walker, your dentist, that cute barista at Starbucks have Amazon Prime, you got Prime Gaming. You get a free sub each and every 30 days where you can write in a message just like our good friend Luke Milo Designs did. And he says, hey, Greg,
Hey.
you once told me to leave my baby at a fire station so I could keep my Patreon sub.
Yeah.
Trade diapers for a golden tier resub. Let me know.
What size diapers do you need? Right now, I am inundated with 5s, and Ben is officially a 6. But I do have 2 sets of 3s I could still send out your way. Let me know if any of those work for you.
We'll take that sub.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
We'll give you diapers for subs. We like that. We got another fun one coming in. Just Bright Gaming or Just Bring It Gaming.
Kevin's got food for you? Mike?
Oh, what you
For
got there?
me.
Not at all.
Oh,
Okay.
Quick fridge question before I throw out someone's food.
Sure.
Like, there's like half a
That's not mine.
roast
Oh,
beef
yeah, my prime rib sandwich from Monday, yeah.
from Monday.
Yeah.
You want it still, or
Nah, probably not, right? It's probably all dried out because
Oh,
I
yeah,
never
it's real
bagged
dry.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
it
can
was
see it
just
from
left
here. It
open
looks-
in the box?
It was closed when I put it in there. I assume over time it popped.
I mean, let's not blame other people, you know.
Oh, I'm not blaming the people. I'm blaming bad box technology. You know what I mean?
Bad box.
he's
Let's
doing
just
that.
let's
Thanks, Kevin.
call a spade, all right? Original Joe's, step it up. You know what I mean?
On the
Wow,
boxes.
call 'em
Yeah,
out.
apparently.
Because they got great food. They got great
No
food.
one's arguing about the food being
Okay.
good.
Lucy, let's talk fridge. Let's talk fridge space really quick. All right, let's talk about your fridge here.
Now
Where
this
do
is an
you put
icebreaker.
your juices and milks, and then, of course, the rest of the food. What is up on the top? That's what I want to know. What's on your top?
Brita filter,
Okay.
beers. How dare you? I come all this way. No. So yeah, Brita filter, beers,
Okay.
White Claws,
Nice.
anything drinkable.
The
'Cause
important
I like
stuff.
that.
the important stuff on the top because that's the tallest shelf.
If she's gonna eat a frozen pizza in the next 3 days, it's in the fridge.
Do you
Of
know
course.
why? It's because our freezer was so packed. I couldn't fit anything.
You could fit a frozen pizza
I
in our
could
freezer.
Not, Greg. I tried.
Putting
I
it in
had
the
to
thing is
Tetris that shit.
disgusting. Putting it into the
But
goddamn
I'm
refrigerator.
taking out, like, you know me. I don't eat like a normal person.
That's accurate.
Just-
That's
yeah.
accurate.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, if the freezer's full, you got to put it somewhere, Greg. You got to put
Yeah.
it somewhere.
Don't take your side, Mike.
Let's keep having some fun. Just Bring It Gaming writes in and says, Xbox Showcase. Let's talk Avowed. Lucy James, Avowed, when I think about that. Are you excited for Avowed coming from Obsidian? What do you think about Avowed? Is it a Skyrim killer?
I don't think anything's a Skyrim killer
a tough one,
at
that's
this
right.
point. I think Skyrim is too ingrained in the public consciousness to be anything to be a Skyrim killer. But I'm excited for it. I just want to see more of it. You know, what we had was that initial trailer where it was definitely evoking some Skyrim.
Yeah, and he did the cool hand
He did the
motion,
cool
is right.
hand
He had a sword.
things.
There was a dragon screaming in the background, is right.
No, I'm excited to see it. But is it a Skyrim killer? It put Todd Howard behind me.
He would say
What
no.
jacket do you think Todd's gonna wear for the? We didn't talk about this in the main show.
talk about
What
that.
jacket do we think Todd is gonna wear for the Starfield showcase?
I mean, there's probably go simple brown or black leather.
I'm gonna say
jacket,
black
right?
leather. He's
But I
got
would-
that.
Classic
Yeah.
brown.
Yeah, that classic brown.
Burnt
I'd like him to
orange.
show up with like that
Mother of
BJ
pearl.
bright yellow
Oh.
leather jacket from.
I was like,
You
where
remember
is
with
this
the-
going?
Yeah, a little BJ Blazkowicz,
That'd be
bright
sick.
yellow,
Yep.
badass jacket. That would be
With the
bad.
stripes.
Oh yeah,
could
That would
rock
be
it.
cool.
He only can wear that if Bethesda is showing up with Wolfenstein at some point, though. You can't
They're
wear
not.
that, and yeah.
That is
They're
true. You
not.
can't
I know.
show up
It
and
makes it
not
so
show
sad.
that
I
is
know.
right. Lucy James, let's talk about that. Of course, Machine Games. Everybody wants more Wolfenstein,
Yep.
but we get Indiana Jones. Do you think we will see Wolfenstein anytime soon?
Probably not. Which is a shame because was it the new Colossus and the new Order? I forget which one was 1 and which one was 2. But the ending of the second one, I don't know, it felt like it was really building to a third game, and then obviously we just had complete radio silence, and now we're
Well, we
getting
did technically
Then we
have
get Youngblood. Yeah, the co-op game.
Eternal Sunshined that from
Yeah,
my
we forget about that
it's
one.
probably for the
Good
best.
call.
it wasn't great. But I kind of wanted like a big third in that trilogy with BJ Blazkowicz. But I guess if we're not getting that, I'm intrigued to see what they'll do with Indiana Jones. I don't think when was the last Indiana Jones
Game? Long time.
LucasArts, or is it
The
even-
Lego games.
Yeah.
Oh, Lego games, good call.
Ah, good
Do you
job.
think Indy will be first person or third person?
That is a great question. I'm just trying to think how would whip mechanics work in first person?
Well, you think of the studio, right? You
Yeah,
think first
they-
person shooter.
Yeah.
But you
let's
think
shake it
Indy,
up,
you
you
got.
know?
That's what I'm saying about Perfect Dark, and people roast
then-
me for it.
but then
Shake it up a little bit.
If
A lot of
you-
people need to jump out of a moving car and never come back, and there's some of those people right there. All right.
But if you have a character like Indiana Jones and you're paying for the likeness to use Indiana Jones, you're putting Harrison Ford in there, aren't you?
No,
100%
no way.
you're putting young hot Harrison Ford in there.
I mean, they're gonna do it. They are gonna do an indie. I think it's third person because it's a cinematic game. It's a
Yeah.
cinematic franchise. I think you make it look like a generic white guy, or not. You're making your indie. You know what I mean?
okay.
It's kind of similar to the Bourne game they made back in the day.
Can I scan my face in like NBA?
Oh my
You
god!
wanna do-
I have some
I don't
great
wanna do
photos of
that.
that. I have some great ones.
Oh,
Man, they miss every time. Nevin's Island, aka Nick, writes in and says, "Xbox Showcase. Would you rather hype or a roadmap?" So, Greg, let's talk about it. Would you rather the teasers, the sizzle of the hype,
You
or
gotta
would
have
you
both.
like
You gotta
them to
have
come with
both.
the Marvel roadmap?
I think you got to have both. I think we know so many games already, right? Like we know Fable. Now the problem is that what we've seen time and time again, both at Xbox, as we just talked about with everything, will be here in the next 12 months, and then every other person who ever puts a date on their game, you're setting yourself up to failure. So I am not expecting a roadmap beyond like maybe something after start. I'm not expecting dates on anything unless they're like imminent, unless it is going to be December. You're getting Hellblade or something to that effect. But I think if we're talking about dates on the big stuff we don't know, you're going to be lucky to get a Hellblade date, and that's probably it. I think then
Lucy?
you just see
Yes,
other
Phil.
stuff.
Yes, Phil.
I'm going to ask him for sure. I mean, that's
You wouldn't
definitely a
ask him,
big
coward.
topic of conversation of, hey, last year we learned a lesson. What did you learn from that? What is you and the team going to come back with, right? Because I don't think they'll come back with everything you see now is in the next 12-month window, right?
Yeah,
Like,
they're
that
gonna
was
bit
a
him on the
wild
ass.
statement. And then, you show off Hollow Knight Silk Song, and people go, what? And then they're like,
Yeah.
well, maybe not, you know?
I'll be. No, I would love to see it. I would love to see them do the thing where it's like at least the launch month.
Launch
Thing.
month. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, because that gives them a little bit of wiggle room. 30 days. But
So much wiggle room.
Tough. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to Forza has been pushed back. I would like a firm date on Forza or a stealth release, right? They said spring,
Yep.
June. Some people, they mess around with their seasons and dates, Greg. I'm pretty traditional when it comes to spring.
Whenever
and
we say
what is
winter, and
summer.
people are like, yeah, it's coming this year. I'm like, hold the fuck up.
I'll tell you what. So,
Jan Feb.
maybe spring in their eyes could be June stealth drop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that could be a big win for them. We're looking for some high quality content coming out of Forza, but
Yes.
that is for a smaller audience, right? How many people really want to take it to the track all the time? Not many. It's not Forza Horizon,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
But yeah, as well, Hellblade. I think if you want to save the year, you put Hellblade this year. Right, but that most likely probably be a spring dates, right? You leave room for Skyrim, or Starfield, and you let them cook up, But it will be very interesting to see what we see from this team. A roadmap has always been my dream, where Phil goes up and he's got all the things, and it's like a cool.
I
little
wish more
trail.
people did that in
But-
games.
Yeah, me too.
And I
think
wish,
they're
and I
afraid
wish
of
it
that
was
one.
like they just like had a giant thing at the bottom, like subjects to change. Like, yo, this is our plan. Blah blah.
Yeah.
Like, let's be super honest. And I think that would benefit Xbox a lot here in terms of we have all these studios. We're investing all this money. Game Pass is a huge part of that. We know we're still getting up to speed. Now, you don't have to be negative about it, right? But it's like, this is how we see it going. This could all change. It will change. But I want you to know what we're doing.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, are you looking forward to a deep dive with Todd Howard? Of course, there's the fabled stuff that Greg and Blessing always talk about of seeing Fallout 4 and hearing Todd go deep into this. Are you excited about this? Do you think this will be a good, like, oh, wow moment? Or do you think people will come out of it, because we talked about it earlier, of like, okay.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't really been keeping on top of the Starfield stuff so far because they haven't really shown too much. It's mostly just been Todd and whoever sat in a room chatting.
A lot of talking.
Those have been fun. I will say I like those.
Okay.
They did the music one, and I got lost in it, Lucy. It was so good.
Maybe I'll go back and watch those. I mean, the thing about Starfield is that I am excited to play it for sure, but I'm not, it's not like when Rockstar releases a game and I have to consume every single trailer, teaser, image that they release about Red Dead, right? Starfield is a game that I know that I'm going to play. I like that first trailer. I like space. I like Bethesda Game Studios games. I don't know. I feel like I already know what to expect, so maybe I should be watching it and getting more excited just to see if they're going to challenge my expectations.
They have to deliver at the Starfield Direct. This has to be the one that puts any fears to rest and gets the hype train rolling. Because the hype train is there in the sense of, oh, well, I've loved a Fallout before. I've loved Skyrim. I know that I like most Todd Howard games. But I don't know if there's a hype of like, what I've seen from that one thing where they went and shot that was like I feel like the gameplay they showed that one time, the only time, correct me if I'm wrong, the one big gameplay section they put out. Yeah,
they got 15 minutes.
Where it was like, I didn't feel a lot of people walked away like, I am floored, I am blown away, I can't wait. This needs to be the one where they tell us and show us why we can't wait for this game. And I feel like, when the last time they did this for this kind of thing with Todd, or what it was, Fallout 76. And that was like such a oof. You know what I mean? I think they know what they need to do. I think they will come out and do that. I still have faith that Starfield is going to be dynamite.
I like hearing that. I'm excited. Either way, I cannot wait to jump into this, right? Like, I love Bethesda RPGs. I'm very invested in these worlds that they give me. I have replayed
Which is crazy because you hate story.
Hundreds of times.
You skip every cutscene and every
I
game
get
play.
to make my own story in these games. That's the best part. Did I ever tell you about the time when I was in Skyrim?
Oh my God.
Did he cut like every Outriders like cutscene or something like that?
Let me tell you about Jakob. Jakob showed up at the end of the game.
Then this guy had the nerve to be like, yeah, Dead Island 2 story sucks. I'm like, whoa, no, runner.
Okay.
I'm not defending it.
I'm
I'm
also
just
talking about the same man who started to try to review Super Mario Brothers when he slept for 2/3 of the movie.
I said it was a good movie.
It's not accurate. Nailed
It was
it.
a good movie. It was a fine movie. It was right. I watched it on TikTok. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? I watched it on TikTok.
Oh my God.
I'm very excited about the summer. I cannot wait to see it. And it's awesome because I am always a big fan of E3. I've been one of the few who goes, I love E3. I've adored watching Greg and IGN as a kid all the time. Like, that was
E3
my
killer over
dream. Greg is my E3 killer. I want you to know that. He just stabbed me in the heart every time he spoke about E3. But, like, I grew up loving that stuff, right? It was always my dream. And so summer gaming events are my favorite thing because we get to all come together. We share the fun video game worlds. And so I'm excited to see what's happening. But
Hell yeah.
that is just a little bit away. We have some very exciting stuff. Of course, Phil Spencer will join me on today's Kind of Funny Xcast. You cannot watch it live, but you can watch it tomorrow on YouTube and podcast services around the globe. It's going to be a ton of fun. Today, I'm teaming up with my good friend Nick. We're going to jump into the Warzone once again. He loves Call of Duty Warzone. It's his favorite thing. And so I love teaming up with Nick and having a good time. And then tomorrow, we have a fun May the 4th stream that I don't want you all to miss. Make sure to tune into that. With that, this is the end.
Wow. Fine, sure, whatever. Star Wars tomorrow.
Okay.
KFW, Kinda Mania, the pay-per-view
Mania.
season finale.
Yeah. We haven't seen the horse kick in a while from you after you gave one to Joey. But I will say you still live on in the world is right. It's a big deal.
Jedi Survivor spoilercast sometime tomorrow, too.
Yeah.
So much content. Always a lot of great content coming out of here. So make sure to tune into all of that. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Thank you to Lucy for your time. Thank you to Greg for bringing the absolute energy as always. And we'll see you back here for more fun. Goodbye, everyone.